This book has 5 dedicated chapters to each individual character. You follow them around a laundromat in Yeonnam-Dong, aka Yeoncho Park. So, how does a laundromat bring people together? Well, let's find out in this book that I want to share with you called Yeonnam-Dong's A Smiley Laundromat. And I hope that these stories will also bring a smile to you too. Hi, hello, welcome. First off, you know this is probably going to be a good book if you have an animal on the cover. I'm just going to say that. There's a cute cat in the cover. So I think it's going to be a good story. This book, like I mentioned earlier, the chapters are divided into each individual characters. So they're not numbered, however, they're titled by what happens in the book to kind of give you a clue. I will keep how the chapters are titled a secret, but I will say that I like chapter 1, 2, 3, and 5. Unfortunately, chapter 4 wasn't my favorite. I understood why it had to be in there, but out of all the stories, that was my least favorite to read. This book touches on a couple things like family issues, maybe some personal issues that you might have, and you learn a little bit more about Korean culture. My favorite character, one of the characters, his name is Old Jang, and his dog Jindal. He's an older gentleman. He's been around the block. He's lived in this community for a long time, and so he kind of knows the ins and outs of Yeonnam-Dong. And sometimes I feel like I see myself in this character because one, we all get old. We're going to be stuck in our ways. We're going to be forgetful, but we're going to have a lot of knowledge as we grow older. But I like the way how he interacts with people in his community. He's really passionate and he's just really simple with things. He doesn't like the fancy things. He just likes the really basic, simple things that are necessary. So he has to go to the laundromat to do laundry, and he finds this notebook on the counter, and he sees something written in it, and he reads it and it intrigues him, and he writes back because he feels that he can help this person, and he actually comes back to try to see if he's gotten a response or try to see who this person could be. So you already kind of can tell by old Jang's action that he comes from a good place and he just really wants to help people. So that really is one of the reasons why I am drawn towards the character here, Old Jang. And I think he's just really well written in the book too. Um, so this notebook, I think it's a cool concept to kind of have this out. I think some Airbnbs, if you stay at, they leave guest books that you can write in. So it's kind of similar concept like that, where you can leave messages on whatever you feel like. Of course, there's going to be people that are going to ruin it for people. They might draw or write things that are inappropriate, or they even might vandalize the book where they rip pages out. They rip pages out from other people's written entries. There's going to be that. Unfortunately, we don't live in a perfect world. However, just thinking of the concept of leaving a book out for people to write their thoughts, express their feelings, especially for people who have a hard time telling someone they feel in person. And so writing it out is a good way for them to express themselves, and I'm all for it. Um, I mentioned in another video a while back, there's something different about writing things out versus typing things out. Both are great options for expressing your feelings, but there's just, again, something different about writing it out. Seeing someone's handwriting, there's going to be spelling mistakes, smears. If you're going to be writing with a pen, sometimes that smears. And so just little things like that makes writing letters or writing things so different than typing. Of course, there's similar things when people write things in a notebook, you don't know who it's from. Same thing with online. You don't know where the comments are coming from. However, because this book is in a laundromat, most likely the people that are going to be writing in the book, they're going to be from Yeonnam-Dong or around the area, versus maybe getting a response from someone halfway across the country. It doesn't feel the same. I hope I'm making that point clear. But I love the concept. I love that people are really invested in wanting to write in this book, trying to help people. So that's the main point I'm trying to make, that this is a good thing where people want to help people and people expressing themselves in writing. So I love the concept there. I think because that each chapter is dedicated to a specific character, it keeps the book interesting, and you kind of see different perspectives, and it adds to the story of how these characters are connected. And Korean shows love to do this too, so you'll see it a lot if you see a lot of Korean dramas. Also, once you start reading more Korean and Japanese cozy book genre, you will start to see a pattern in how things are written and the vibes that these authors create. And while some people may think that it's starting to bleed and look similar, personally, I have not felt that way just yet about these cozy books that I read, because each of them bring a different side or point of view that I didn't think of, or they hone in on a specific hobby, and then they make it so cool that you want to read more about it. And so just wanted to point that out there, especially if you're reading a lot of Japanese, Korean, cozy translated books. Some may feel the same, but I think that each of them have their own uniqueness, that why it makes it a good book to read. Not too many dislikes aside from the chapter 4 wasn't my favorite story out of the 5 chapters. I don't want to give this away either, but I really like how one section of this book was written. I really felt the connection between the characters, or maybe the disconnect and why they were disconnected. But then in the end, I'm just saying in general, like in the end, I understand and appreciate how it was written, because it was just beautifully wrapped up. That's all my thoughts. So final ratings, I would say still 3 stars. I don't know what's gonna push these type of cozy books to a 4-star, but once it does, I'll let you know. But for right now, 3 stars for me for this book. Like always, please let me know. Did you like this book? Didn't you like this book? Who is your favorite character? Please leave a like, rate, share, comment. It will really help me out a lot. I'll see you in the next video. Happy reading.